Hey everyone, and welcome back to the Deep Dive.
Great to be here.
Today we're cracking open a book that's pretty much legendary in personal finance circles.
Oh, yeah. Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Exactly. Robert T. Kiyosaki. For so many people, this book wasn't just, you know, another guide. It was like a seismic shift in how they thought about money.
Totally transformative for many.
Okay, let's unpack this then. Our
Mm.
mission today. We want to go beyond just the surface level stuff.
Yeah.
We're going to try and extract the most important nuggets of knowledge, the real insights from this foundational book. What actually makes it so enduring, decades later?
Good
What
question.
are its strengths? And let's be honest, its limitations too. And the big one,
Yeah.
what can you take away from it to maybe shift your own perspective on money and wealth?
We're looking for those aha moments, right?
Exactly, the ones that really propel you forward.
And I think that's spot on. For anyone looking to get up to speed, quickly but really thoroughly, this book often feels like the first domino. It's not really about giving you a hot stock tip or something. It's more about uh, a pretty radical reframing of your whole financial reality.
Yeah.
So we'll explore not just what Kiyosaki teaches, but how he manages to shift people's thinking and why that context is, well, pretty valuable if you're just starting that financial literacy journey.
Absolutely. And to really get its impact, I think we have to start with that central narrative. It's like the engine driving the whole thing.
The two dads.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Kiyosaki's story, rooted in his childhood, growing up with these two, like, polar opposite father figures, each one embodying a completely different philosophy about life, about money.
It's more than just a story, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. It's the core of his message. So on one side, you've got his poor dad. That's his biological father.
Agreed. The educated one.
Highly educated, yeah.
Yeah.
PhD, respected government job, valued security above everything. But despite all that, Kiyosaki describes him as, well, financially struggling.
Kind of stuck in that hamster wheel.
Totally. Caught in that traditional cycle. Earn a paycheck. Watch it vanish. Never really building substantial wealth. He represents that conventional path, Go to school, get the good job, work hard, save.
The path most of us are taught.
Yeah. Then there's Rich Dad. Now, this wasn't his biological father. This was his best friend's dad.
The mentor figure.
Right. A self-made entrepreneur. Kind of bypassed the formal education route for more street smarts, I guess.
Yeah.
A business mind. He had this deep, almost intuitive grasp of how money really works.
And he becomes Kiyosaki's guide.
Exactly. Guiding him through these financial principles that just flew directly in the face of everything poor dad believed. What I found really compelling as we looked into this was how he makes those differences so stark, just through stories.
It makes you think, doesn't it?
It really does. The book vividly explores these contrasting philosophies, educated but struggling versus, well, less formally educated but financially free, their mindsets, their advice. It shaped Kiyosaki's whole path.
What's truly fascinating here, I think, is how that dual narrative structure works. It does more than just make complex financial ideas, accessible.
Mm-hmm.
It fundamentally sets up this kind of intellectual challenge for you, the reader. By showing these two figures, Kiyosaki immediately highlights the massive power of mindset and financial education as a choice.
Interesting. As a choice.
Yeah. It's not just a story he's telling, it's like a living framework for how you can actively choose to think about money, about what an asset really is versus a liability, about freedom.
Right.
And for someone new to all this, that approach is invaluable. It gives you this immediate, relatable contrast. It kind of forces you to pause and go, okay, which path am I actually on? Which one do I want to be on?
Without feeling like you're reading some dry textbook.
Exactly. It makes the abstract feel intensely personal.
And that idea, making it personal, making complex stuff accessible, that leads us perfectly into its strengths, right?
Yeah.
What makes this book stand out? First off, like you just said, it's incredibly easy to get. The book, refreshingly, avoids all that dense financial jargon.
Which can be such a turnoff for beginners.
Totally. It breaks things down using simple stories, analogies from his own life. It makes it super easy to grasp, especially if you feel intimidated by, like, traditional finance books.
No complex market analysis here.
No, you're getting fundamental ideas presented in this really engaging, almost narrative style.
Yeah.
But the biggest impact, I think, it's got to be the mindset shift it delivers. This book isn't just about what to do with money. It's about fundamentally changing how you even think about it. Assets, liabilities.
That core definition he uses.
Yes. Kiyosaki famously boils it down.
Yeah.
An asset puts money in your pocket. A liability takes money out. Seems so basic, right?
Deceptively simple.
But that's where the whole book pivots. It forces you to reconsider everything, your car, your house. Is it an asset or a liability by his definition? It challenges that whole trade time for money forever idea and plants the seed of making your money work for you. That shift, just reframing those basic terms, that can be incredibly powerful for a beginner.
You've really hit on something crucial there. The impact of that asset liability definition. You can't really overstate it, especially if you've never heard it put that way before.
Right. Most people think my house is my biggest asset.
Of course. But Kiyosaki makes you ask, okay, wait, is it actually putting cash in my pocket each month? Or is it costing me money? Mortgage, taxes, upkeep.
Yeah.
And that's where you get those aha moments. Because it pushes you to look beyond just your salary, to see your time, your resources through a totally different lens.
Which changes the game.
It basically reframes the entire game of building wealth. It makes you question the societal norms and ask, hang on, is there maybe another way to get financially independent? By simplifying things and motivating action, it sets this strong foundational mindset. It gets you thinking critically about your own choices right from the start.
And beyond that huge mindset piece, it does emphasize practical lessons. They're broad, maybe, but still really important.
Like financial literacy itself.
Exactly. Not just earning money, but understanding how it moves, how it grows, how you protect it. It really highlights investing, entrepreneurship.
And that fundamental idea, again, make money work for you. Don't just work for money your whole life.
Thinking like an owner, not just an employee.
And honestly, for a lot of us who came up through traditional schooling, that feels almost rebellious.
Yeah, a little bit.
Like, wait, I don't have to just work for someone else's dream. That shift alone, understanding you can build systems where your money works on its own, that can be incredibly liberating. Maybe a little scary at first.
Definitely.
But it acts as this powerful push. It inspires people to take control, to start their own journey towards financial freedom. It kind of lights a fire under you because it shows you a possibility you might never have even considered.
Okay, so it's inspiring, it shifts perspectives, super effective in that way, but like any powerful tool, it's got some rough edges, right?
Mm-hmm. No book is perfect.
We can't just talk about the good stuff. It's important for you, listening, to understand the limitations, too. And the biggest one, I think, is that it really lacks concrete strategies.
Yeah. The how-tos is often missing.
Exactly. It masterfully inspires a new way of thinking, but it doesn't give you step-by-step methods. You won't find a detailed guide on real estate syndication or, specific stock picking techniques in there.
It gives you the why, but leaves the how a bit vague.
Tantalizingly vague, yeah. And frankly, it can feel a bit repetitive sometimes.
He does hammer some points home.
Yeah, some core lessons get revisited quite a bit, which, okay, reinforces it for some. But for others, it might feel stretched out or redundant, repeating the same ideas from different angles. Not everyone loves that style.
Fair point.
And we also kind of need to touch on the controversial claims. Critics often argue that his personal stories, especially about Rich Dad, maybe they're exaggerated or simplified.
There's definitely debate around that.
And some advice, while the principle is sound, maybe it doesn't apply universally. The economy, tax laws, investment opportunities, they're so different for everyone, everywhere, across different times.
What worked for Rich Dad in 1970s Hawaii?
Right. Might not be directly doable or even advisable for everyone today.
And this really brings up a crucial point for anyone reading this, or any similar book, really.
Which is?
The absolute need for critical thinking. Look, the inspiration, the mindset shift, incredibly valuable catalysts. But it's so important to understand this book isn't a detailed instruction manual.
Yeah.
The criticisms often exist precisely because general principles, even powerful ones, always need practical, specific application. And that application varies hugely based on your circumstances, market conditions, regulations.
Like so.
Like the whole entrepreneurship thing it champions sounds great, sounds accessible. But the book maybe undersells the sheer mental fortitude needed. The grind, the failures, the stress, that's a huge part of it.
That's a really good point, the unspoken part.
Exactly. So take the inspiration, absolutely, but always consider different views. Recognize that any financial advice needs to be weighed against your unique situation. Think of it as the starting gun, maybe, but not the entire race plan.
You need to supplement it.
Vitally important to supplement its philosophy with more granular, practical education.
Okay, so wrapping this all up, what's the final verdict here on Rich Dad, Poor Dad?
The bottom line.
Yeah, It's not a detailed financial manual. Let's be crystal clear on that.
Agreed.
But it is unquestionably an eye-opening guide, especially if you're new to money management or even just looking for a fresh angle.
It shakes things up.
It really does. Its greatest value, I think, is teaching you to think differently about wealth, assets, liabilities, financial freedom. It reshapes your perspective, gets you asking bigger questions about your financial future, your whole relationship with money.
Yeah.
But remember, for the actual how-to, the nitty-gritty of buying a stock, analyzing a rental property, structuring a business, you will need to supplement it.
For sure.
This book gives you the philosophy, the blueprint for a new mindset, the foundation maybe. Our review, we landed on a U rating of 4 out of 5.
Solid.
Excellent for beginners, highly motivating, but yeah, not very detailed. So what does all this mean for you, listening? Someone trying to get well-informed quickly and thoroughly.
Well, for your journey of gaining knowledge, think of this book as a phenomenal first step, a really powerful mental catalyst.
Catalyst, I like that.
Yeah, it shifts your perspective on what's even possible with money rather than giving you a tactical playbook. It sort of prepares your mind for the practical guides that should come next. It tunes your compass before you start plotting the exact course. It delivers those initial aha moments without overwhelming you. It empowers you to explore further, gives you the vocabulary and the mindset to actually understand more detailed stuff when you find it. It helps you see the matrix, before you try to bend the spoon.
That's a perfect way to put it. Seeing the matrix. Okay, so our deep dive into Rich Dad, Poor Dad really shows us sometimes the biggest financial asset you can build isn't a stock or real estate.
It's that shift in your thinking.
Exactly. A profound shift in your mindset. Understanding the game, the rules, before you even pick up the controller or invest that first dollar.
Precisely. And it encourages you to keep learning, right? To constantly question assumptions and always try to understand the practical, real-world application of any principle you learn, adapting it to your own life.
Absolutely. So here's something to chew on. If Rich Dad, Poor Dad is that catalyst for changing how you think about money, what's the very first practical step you might take, maybe this week, to actually start making your money work for you instead of just working for money? Knowing, of course, you'll need more concrete strategies down the line.
What's that first small action?
Yeah. What small action could align you with that rich dad mindset? Just something to ponder.
Good question to leave folks with.
Thanks, everyone, for joining us on this deep dive.
See you next time.